I call to order the meeting of Finance Committee on November 23rd, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. First thing on the agenda is approval of minutes. I need a motion to approve the draft minutes of November 9, 2021 Finance Committee meeting.
So moved.
Any questions or changes?
No.
All right. All in favor of approving the draft minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next on the agenda, number 3, is public appearances for non-agenda items. Looks like we have no one in chambers, and we have nobody online. Great, so we will move on to agenda item 4, Finance Director's Report. Misty.
Yeah, so we have some numbers coming in now. So we all passed the budget last time, which was exciting. So we set the city's property tax levy. At this point, I have also gotten the levies from all of the overlying jurisdictions, as well as the different aids. So the lottery credit, the first dollar credit, and the school property tax levy. So I have all of the numbers I need, but I have to submit those to the county, and the county's not ready for me yet. So the tax rate increases numbers that I'm going to give you are based off of Misty's spreadsheets, which are probably correct, but they're not confirmed with the county yet. So I just put out that grain of salt for you. So the Verona Area School District assessed value tax rate. So if the home value or the property value is the same as last year, this will be what their property tax increase will be. So Verona Area School District was a 3.5% assessed value tax increase. Oregon School District 4.5, and Madison School District 4.7. So increase is pretty consistent, I would say, across the school districts, with Verona being a little bit less. Another piece of good news for those of you that have your primary residence here in Fitchburg, the lottery credit that you get went up about $100. So that from $200-ish to $300-ish varies by school district again, but is another nice credit. And so as you're out talking to people, it's good for people to look at their property tax bill. If it was their primary residence, make sure that you got that lottery credit. It is not automatic, especially for new construction. Make sure that's on there. If it's not, give my office a call or check out our website. There's a form that needs to be completed, and we'll make sure that that credit gets on there. So tax bill processing-wise is going well. The goal is to have tax bills out December 13th that week sometime. They're statutorily required to be out the third Monday of December, but we obviously don't want to wait that long if we don't have to. So still working towards that target. Another piece of good news, so I know the committee of the whole meeting where MMSD, the Madison Metro Sewage District, came out and was talking about expected rate increases that were going to be expected. We got the numbers from them as well. The auditors have done their analysis. The average residential sewer-only bill, because of the passed-through costs from MMSD, will go up 1.7%, and the average commercial is 1.4%. And so it varies, of course, by how much gallons you use and all of that stuff, but it's less than 2% in all of those categories. So much more reasonable, I would say, than what I was expecting after that committee of the whole meeting. So thought that was overall pretty good information to share too. Other than that, just trying to kind of get through stuff and keep going. If you have any questions, let me know.
I was just hoping for the sewer district, for the residential went up 1.7%, and for the commercial it went up what amount?
So this is for the average.
Average.
Because it does change depending on the particulars. So the average residential is 1.7, average commercial was 1.4.
1.4%. Okay, great.
Yep.
And then when the tax levy rates, when those are finalized with the county, is that something you could send out to the council as a whole so everyone has that information?
Yep, absolutely.
Great.
And then we always post my summary out on the website too. So maybe I'll send you guys the link letting you know it's there, and then I'll point out kind of those numbers in particular that I think you're interested in.
The public link is great, so we can share it with our constituents.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks so much, Misty. So we'll go ahead and move on to agenda item number 5, review of bills. First up is 5A, detailed review of checks for $10,000 and above from November 1st to the 15th, 2021, totaling $296,902.28. Any questions? I've got a quick one. Misty, I'm looking at page 5 of the packet, and the only page of that, that one, the Fitchburg Chamber of Commerce, the hotel tax room payment seems a lot higher than it's been recently. Is that actually higher?
It is actually higher, so it still is not pre-COVID numbers. Third quarter has always, or traditionally been our most collected quarter. So it is higher than what it has been the last couple, though still not quite to pre-COVID.
Great, but it's certainly higher than we expected, right? Or we projected.
Yes, yep.
Misty, I have a question on the turnout gear coats and pants. How many are we buying for those prices?
I do not know, but I can get that for you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, seeing no more questions, we can go ahead and move on to item 5B, detailed review of all checks issued, checks 122747 to 122789 from November 1st to the 15th, 2021, totaling $361,868.52. Any questions?
Just one, the court restitution for $3,200. Can you give us a little bit of information on that? It's on page 6.
I'm sure I'm not going to know off the top of my head, so I will get back to you, but let me make sure I see it. Oh, here you go. That one at the bottom of the page?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll get back to you.
Okay,
Great.
that's it.
So we can move on to our action items. 6A, I need a motion to approve Resolution R-20321, authorizing a budget amendment for replacement rifle purchase, sale of rifles, and purchase of speed boards.
So moved.
And I think we'll start with a summary from either Misty or Chief Morales.
I can kind of kick it off. So included in the 2022 budget request from the police department was the purchase of this equipment due to levy limit constraints. One of the strategies we use is to take it out of the 2022 budget if it's a one-time thing and instead do a budget amendment for 2021 to get that paid for. So that's what this is doing. So the police chief was vacant for a period of time. We'd like to redirect that vacancy savings in order to make this relatively large equipment purchase. And then obviously the chief can provide much more detail about the specific items that we're purchasing.
Yes, it's the rifles that we're looking to purchase is to start a purchase of rifles that will start the replacement program for the old rifles, which were purchased in 2003. So the old rifles are approximately 18 years old, and they're used for training. The same rifles that are used for the streets are used for training. So if you look at the numbers for annual in-services, with approximately 200 rounds per in-service, account for about over 14,000 rounds fired in a year for in-service. You also have specialized search SRT training, which is search and rescue team. Those are 4-day training sessions throughout the year with an additional amount of ammo that's used. That's about over 21,000, almost 22,000 rounds fired. And then you have supplemental training requested by officers. So you have, in the last 18 years, over 36,000 rounds, almost 40,000 rounds fired from each firearm there. So what does that do? That causes wear. Like any type of equipment, there's moving parts there. So you're going to from bolt carriers, trigger springs, mechanisms, the barrel that gets kind of worn from the inside, and other cracks in the ventilation tubes can cause for potential malfunction, which is why you want to look at replacing these items so that they don't fail. If Lord permitting, you never have to use them, but at the time you want to use them, you want them to work. Which is why we're looking for a replacement program and bring that down to a little less than 18 years, which they haven't been done for before.
Any questions from the committee?
None.
Great. I just wanted to say quickly, really appreciate finding that offset in that overage. It's perfect, great use of money. So appreciate that work that was done to make this happen.
Thank you.
And then I guess one other quick question functionally, why was the handgun purchase, the second resolution, separated out? Is there a reason for that?
Yep, so because the purchase itself is more than 25,000, it has to come through as a pre-approval purchase as well, and you can only have one vendor per pre-approval form, so that's why they're done separately.
Got it.
And then the budget amendment, in theory, we could have done separate, but thought it'd be more efficient to do it kind of all together as these two packages.
Great. So let's go ahead and take a vote on Resolution R20321. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to item 6B, Resolution R21121, authorizing a budget amendment for replacement handgun purchase and trade-in of old handguns. I need a motion.
So moved.
And we'll go ahead and start with Chief Morales.
Okay, similar as the information provided for the rifles, with the exception that the handguns are replaced every 4 years. It was passed last year, so we're going into year 5, and we're hoping to get that in this year since we didn't get it last year. But you do have, again, training. There is one thing that we are reducing the number of handguns that we have in our ownership from 69 to 62.
And any questions?
No questions.
We'll go ahead and put it to a vote. All in favor of Resolution R21121, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks so much, Chief, for coming in.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 6C, resolution, I need a motion to approve Resolution R21621, authorizing the conversion of 2 part-time library custodian positions into 1 full-time library custodian position.
So moved.
And start with Wendy or Misty?
So I will kind of kick this one off too, if you don't mind, Wendy. So this is very similar to a resolution you saw before with the assessment tech position that we converted early. This would be basically an early conversion of something that was budgeted in 2022. So with that, I will let Wendy take it over.
Sure. So this, as Missy said, is going to happen in January, but we could really use the staff time if we could do this early. So it would probably happen sometime in December. With snow removal coming up, we're going to have a hard time keeping up with that and keeping the building clean. We've had a vacancy in one of the halftime positions since May. So we've done okay since then, but it would be really nice if we could start this early. It would also allow the person that's moving into the position to start insurance in January instead of having to wait another month.
Any questions?
No questions.
This sounds like a great opportunity to bring someone to full-time, so I think it sounds like an easy yes, and I'm glad that you can start them early. I think that's fantastic that we can make that happen.
Yes.
If there's nothing else, then we'll go ahead and put it to a vote. All in favor of Resolution R21621, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks so much, Wendy.
Thank you.
And moving on to item 6D, resolution, I need a motion to approve Resolution R21821, authorizing the plan administrator staff contact for the city's 457 deferred compensation plan, and this is a direct referral.
So moved.
And Misty?
We learned recently that one of the deferred compensation plans that the city offers to our employees, the administrators on the plan, both of them are no longer with the city. So this resolution is required by the plan provider to be set by the council of who those administrators should be. We did do it as a direct referral because it's payroll related. We didn't necessarily want to risk it. Most likely it would have been fine to wait another meeting. But again, because it's payroll, we just felt it was important to get this taken care of pretty quickly. I really do see it as a housekeeping item again. What the proposal is that we would designate the city administrator and the human resources manager as the 2 administrators of the plan. They would then give authorization to my payroll staff to actually be the people that are submitting the information. But wanted to keep those kind of separate from a segregation of duties perspective, so that there were different areas. And then my intention with the resolution also was to designate the position, not necessarily the people. So you'll notice I said currently Chad and currently Sarah to meet their requirements, but then also hopefully if this happens again, we at least have the resolution that the position has been earmarked as the administrator.
That's a good idea, to designate the position. Thank you.
As long as they agree to it, let's hope.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and put it to vote. All in favor of Resolution R21821, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to announcements. Any announcements, Misty? Great. The next meeting is December 14, 2021, and I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned at 5:44 PM.